Hello, everybody. It's me, Demetra Kaye, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. We both have our hats on. And you know what? I've never worn a hat. Well, I think I might have worn a beanie or something, but I've never worn a baseball cap. I'll get into that in just a second. But I should say the purpose of the Demetra Kaye show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that goes on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants, and sometimes I share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please go back to that. And if you're not comfortable, you can put your profile picture back up. Just know that no one else can see you but me, not even Donovan. Also in the comment section, it's not that we disagree, is how we disagree. So let's be as respectful as possible. Same thing for the panel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Democrats in trouble as more Black men approve of Trump's administration's job. I probably reworded that wrong on the title. I'll fix it later. But nevertheless, I've seen this conversation over the last couple of days. And then I went looking for some more information. I came up across a very interesting video I'm going to show y'all in regards to some data. Now, some of y'all are probably saying, Demetra, I thought you were supposed to be in California. Well, I was. And what had happened was I was getting ready to fly out yesterday, and at Frontier. Now I tell y'all know I'm a frequent Spirit flyer, but I switched to Frontier. And listen, I know y'all gonna say, y'all, you being cheap. Damn right. I like to save some money, okay? Anyway, on Frontier, it was delayed by, 45 minutes, an hour, because they said they were having some maintenance issues. Now, y'all know with all this stuff going on all over the, place. Well, not all over, but we're hearing a lot about planes falling out the sky. So as we were in the lobby, a couple of us was like, well, what do you mean by maintenance? Can you be a little bit more specific? Nevertheless, eventually we did get on the plane and we're all buckled in. We ready to go. And I got my book. I almost left it on the plane too. And the stewardess comes over and says over the intercom, we hate to inform you that this flight is canceled. We're like, huh? I've never had that happen to me before. What you mean the flight is canceled? Due to mechanical difficulties. Say less. We all got our stuff and we got off the plane. Now they tried to reroute us to Los. Now I'm going to California, right? I fly in closer to the IE where I live instead of LAX. They had me going from Houston at 9 o'clock some midnight, laid over in Vegas for 5-6 hours. And then they was going to fly me into Ontario, California. I said, I'd be damned. So nevertheless, we rescheduled. I'm leaving out on Friday, but I'm here in Houston still because they canceled my flight. Now, they did accommodate us. They gave us some vouchers and food vouchers, and it's still not the same, whatever. So I'm here, and I decided that I would go live. Now, I should also say that I'm very exhausted because I work 2 weeks in advance. So that I have to work ahead so I could go on vacation. So I have a lot of videos for the African Diaspora News Channel, Emancipation Media. Plus I have some of my own stuff I have to get done. So yeah, I'm kind of tired. So right now I'm just here with you guys, but that's why I'm here. So Donovan, thank you so much for being here. What say you before I get into it?
Welcome. I do want to say this. My border ban on Demetra Kaye and her daughter is working. Drop the little tips to TSA, because once you leave California, we don't want you to come back, especially as a Black person. Once you leave here, you got to go. So,
hey, you know what? I'll come back whenever I want to and stay as long as I want to.
Right. See? You see what I'm saying? You see these people that they feel entitled. So anyway, but better safe than sorry for that. I don't want to scare a lot of people, but you guys do know that these airlines do third service maintenance in a lot of situations. That means when they do their overhauls and their annual checks, they send these places overseas who do not have the same oversight as the FAA. So again, I'm not trying to scare you, but saving costs, I would rather these airlines and corporations rather pay these other people $14, $13 to do maintenance on their planes rather than paying the American worker $55, $75 an hour to do the same exact job. Do you guys see the correlation and how that works? And I know this for a fact because I'm an aviation person, and I'm telling you, when I get on a plane, and Demetra will tell you, we can be flying international I will sit at the back of the plane. I don't care what accommodations they give me to go first class or whatever. I sit at the back of the plane because there's a minute chance if a crash does happen, you could survive. In a plane crash, or the end of the plane usually always survives. So anyway, that's another diatribe. But welcome, Demetra. Thank you for doing this topic. A lot of people are not aware of this because, again, when it comes to Black people, they don't report us as they should because they don't want people to understand the power of the Black vote and the Black person. So this is an important topic, and I'm going to say this before we get into it. We have a banner at the bottom if you guys want to continue to help Demetra Kaye make these great conversations. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Cash, Money Order, and all that other great stuff. Also, do not forget Demetra Kaye in May. She will be in Columbus, Ohio with Brother Phil Scott. They will be at a symposium, and they will be talking about issues in regards to the Black community, I'm very sure, and the African diaspora as a whole. Speaking of the African diaspora, we are at the 20th day. We have 8 days left. If you guys want to jump on that 20% off of an annual subscription of the African Diaspora News Channel app, 20% off. It makes a great gift. It makes a great knowledge tool. If you got people graduating high school, graduating college, it is a great subscription to do. 20% off of knowledge of what's going on all around the African diaspora. So again, this is an important topic. They don't report on us. And unfortunately, we're the glue that has kept this country together, because look at how everybody is focusing on Black people to help them with this, help them with that. Why are y'all sitting to the side? Why aren't y'all caring? Why aren't y'all getting up? Even the 92%ers have seen what is going on in the light, and they are done with it. So, Demetra, let's go into it and get you situated.
All right, and thank you, and hello again to everybody. And Patrick, thank you so much for donating to the cause. Love and appreciate you for that. Joey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, so let's get into it. So as the title says, Democrats are in trouble as more Black men approve of Trump's administration's job. So his approval rating is seems to be bumping up with that of Black men. Now, there was a poll done by Signal. That's a private polling firm. And they do a monthly poll called the, I can never read my own handwriting, National Voter Trend Poll. Now, it was conducted from February 4th through the 5th, and has polled 1,500 likely general election voters, right? Now, I looked and I asked my good friend ChatGPT to break it on down for me. And this is what it says. Recent data indicates a growing approval of President Donald Trump's administration among Black men in 2025. Several factors contribute to this trend. Economic considerations. Many Black men perceive economic benefits under Trump's leadership, including job creation and wage growth. This perception has bolstered support with this demographic. Says culture and social alignment. A segment of Black male voters resonates with Trump's position on social issues such as immigration and crime. This alignment reflects a broader trend of non-white voters gravitating toward conservative stances on certain cultural topics. Says perceived authenticity and outreach. Trump's direct communication style and targeted outreach efforts, including initiatives like Black Voices for Trump, have fostered a sense of inclusion and recognition among Black men. Says these efforts have been instrumental in shifting perceptions and garnering support. Then it says DEI policies, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This administration stance on DEI initiatives include termination of certain federal DEI programs has resonated with individuals skeptical of these policies. These perspectives align with a portion of Black men who question the efficacy and fairness of DEI measures. Now, it says it is important to note that while there is an increase in support, the majority of Black male voters continue to favor Democrat candidates. However, the growing approval of Trump's administration among this demographic highlights the complex interplay of economic, cultural, and policies factors influencing political alignments, a shift in Black voter support and political dynamics. All right, so again, I saw that, and I saw a couple of people post things along those lines. So I went to do my own research, and then again, I asked ChatGPT, And that's what it came up with. And then I saw this video on Fox. So check it out.
To be a Democrat myself, you used to be a Democrat. I'm sure there's some folks in the audience wondering why you decided to change. What was it within the party and the movement that you said, okay, I can't take this anymore?
I think that the Democrats are experts at taking advantage of the most vulnerable and weak-minded people in society. I was there and I did it, at one time. And then when they're done with you, you're no longer, they don't have any use for you. You become disposable. And they're doing the same thing. They did it with the Black people, and they did it with the immigrants, illegal immigrants. They do it with LGBTQ, and so the protests, the last thing they want to do is give you something that's going to help you. But they allowed Black Lives Matter to protest because they know we needed an outlet somehow or some way. But they never met any of the demands. They never gave us anything. It was bait and switch. They never kept any of their promises, and that's what they're good for.
All right. So again, those are two Black men right there. One being the Fox News anchor, and Mark Fisher, who I guess used to be one of the leaders of Black Lives Matter at Rhode Island, says he's a co-founder of that. But he basically said that, they left the Democrat Party for the aforementioned reasons, focusing on LGBTQ issues a lot and just a lot of other things that were not necessarily helpful to the Black community. And they both said, we used to be Democrats, right? Not anymore. So then I was like, okay, I think that jives. Again, most Black men are still supporters of the Democrat Party, but it's starting to wane a little bit because, for one, there's a lot of truth being uncovered that wasn't necessarily uncovered before, right? You have the insurgents, if you will, of new Black media. That's what they call us. And I should say that the new Black media is not new conscious Black thought. Of course, that's been around forever. But now that we have these platforms, we're able to give this more of a conversation. So a lot of people are starting to wake up. And then, of course, with this whole DEI thing being targeted, as you could say, by Trump, we've also learned that it never really benefited Black people anyway, right? Again, white women are the benefactors of that. And so, again, you're seeing a lot of Black men starting to say, and I've seen this a lot, even on the internet, TikTok, even Black women, right? There's a lot of Black women that are saying, why are y'all mad at Elon? Why are y'all mad that he's finding all of this waste that admittedly has been taking place under the Republican and Democrat Party, right? They're finding all this money that's going here, there, and everywhere, and y'all are mad. Now, I guess in a joint interview with Trump and Elon, they both said in an interview and outside of the interview that the money that they found so far that they could afford to give each American man, woman, and child $5,000, and they're entertaining. I don't know if they'll do it. I heard Trump say, I forget the amount that they found, but they're entertaining 20% of that, which doesn't sound like it's a lot. Then Elon said that they could give each man, woman, and child $5,000 from the waste that they have found and that they are getting back, either whether it's getting rid of federal jobs or whatever it is they're doing. So you have a lot of Black people, but it sounds like more Black men, and it's usually kind of that way, are saying, well, what exactly is the problem? Why are y'all mad that they're discovering these things? And with that, Black people are discovering that the Democrat Party is not for us like they've said they were for us. When you are for something, that means you do on behalf of that thing or that person that you're for. Well, if you study the Democrat Party, even on a small level, you can say or ask, has the Democrat Party really been for us? What have they done specifically for Black people that we could say we're better off because of, right? The other day we had the conversation about the NAACP. It's the advancement of colored people. That's what they used to call us back in the day, right? Black people are not any more advanced today as we were back then. In fact, we're probably worse because then we were segregated and we had our own things going on. Of course, you guys know what happened with that. DEI, that's the thing that's pushed under the Democrats. They said that it was supposed to be for us, wasn't for us, still not for us, still not going to be for us, even with the boycotts that they have going on. That's still going to benefit white women the most. So when you study the Democrat Party, you realize, yeah, they haven't been for Black people. Now Black people, Black voters are starting to say, okay, what other options do I have? I can go to the Republican Party. Not saying the Republican Party is that much better for us, but Black people are starting to say that. I can go to Republicans. I could go to the Green Party or whatever other parties out there, or I can maybe not do anything, but I'm definitely not fooling with the Democrats, because we saw what the Democrats did. They opened up those borders, let everybody else come up over here and have all there was to get while they told us no. We had Biden tell us no, had Kamala, even though she was vice president, tell us no. They told everybody else yes. And with Elon and Doge, that's the department he's representing, they're going in there and they're finding where all this money went. But yet Black people are now saying, but y'all told us no. But y'all giving money for just, again, they found that there's, I think they said over 1 million or more dead people that's 140 plus years old still getting Social Security. Who's cashing those checks? Where is that money going? Keeping in mind, they keep telling us no. And don't forget, you have Ayanna Pressley and them, the Congressional Black Caucus. Now they're talking about doing a study of reparations because they also see the writing on the wall and that they're losing Black voters every day. Black voters are waking up. And so Ayanna and them, the job is to stop the awakening of the Black voter, because when the Black voter, just like the Black person in church, when they start waking up, the church attendance goes down. When Black voters start waking up, the Democrat voting roster goes down as well. So there's a lot going on. Donovan, I'm going to get to you guys' comments.
Man, well said and well summed up. I'm just going to say it like this. When we started this years ago, and I took on the mantra of the recovering Democrat, I took on that mantra because I was born a Democrat. I was raised a Democrat. I didn't even know why I was a Democrat. I just know that Black people voted Democrat, right? It's what my parents taught me. It's like your religion. You know, if you're a Baptist, you're a Baptist. If you're a Christian, whatever, Northern, Southern, Episcopalian, whatever your religion is, you just know that that's what you practice and that's what you believe, right? And when I became the recovering Democrat, people kept asking me, well, what does that mean? What's going on? I pull for the Democratic Party, but I know it's not good for me or my community. It's like being a recovering alcoholic. And I am finding, Demetra, as time is going on, and in these next 4 years of Trump, we are going to see more and more Black people move away from the Democratic Party, because the solution for the Democratic Party is very simple. Give us reparations. If you would do that, which they know they can't because the Republicans are all in control, they would win their elections. It's a very simple fix, okay? But notice when the Democrats are in power, they have the House, the Senate, the presidency. Didn't Joe Biden say that? You give me the Senate in Georgia and give me the majority, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. They did not deliver on anything. If they had delivered on student debt, which affects everybody, right? Not just specific to Black people, but people, they would still be in power right now. They would still be in power. But as these next 4 years go on, Demetra, I am very sure as more stuff is exposed and people see that what Trump is trying to do benefits Black people in the end, they're going to lose more and more people, because as a recovering alcoholic, or a recovering, drug user or whatever you want to call it, that you cannot continue to do what you're doing, or you're going to go right back to nothingness or whatever, or back to addiction. And we don't want to do that because we're running out of time. Our children, we don't have money to have any legacy or anything of that nature. Do you guys realize Black wealth is no more today than it was at the end of the Civil War? That should be alarming to a lot of people. Now, can you blame the Republicans for Black people being in the plight that they're in? No, you can't. Why would you blame a party that doesn't do anything for you? They never promised to do anything for you. But from the Civil War, there was the radical Republicans that did the Freedmen's Bureau and all this other stuff. But look at the party that was established under racial discrimination and slavery, the Democratic Party. And that's the party we choose to support. And then we wonder why we have no wealth. We wonder why we are still an underclass of people within the United States. This is why a lot of you guys, not you guys, but the people out there, they need to be like me. Get into recovery. Get some help. Because you're not logically thinking what is best for you and your family. Oh, I gotta vote. I gotta be a Democrat. He gonna do this. All these promises. Black people, we are done. When you get me in office, I'm gonna do this. When you get me in office, I'm gonna do that. No. You got to show us up front. More and more black people are now going to their city council meetings and seeing what's going on, because you got to stop corruption at the base root of where it starts. These people you see in Congress, they are handpicked at an early stage of their political careers, where who would sell their souls. So I'm kind of glad people are waking up. I'm kind of glad of these 4 years of Trump. Do I expect anything from the Trump administration for me specifically as a Black person? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I would be stupid to think that, because you're going to have these Democratic shills. Well, what's Trump going to do for you? Nothing. He never promised to do anything. But the one thing he is doing that's going to help Black people is he's getting these migrants out of here. And again, you guys are seeing videos. Demetra, I think you did a video on that brother that got a job on construction, got hired on the spot. That's just one instance of what Donald Trump is doing. And he was so thankful. So thankful. But you guys are also waking up your family members and your friends. My mom, lifelong Democrat, raised me to be a Democrat. My mom's an independent now. How did that happen? Because I kept on talking, I stood my ground, and I just threw the facts out there. What are they doing for us? My mom loves Jasmine Crockett. Ooh, sister girl, Jasmine Crockett. Ooh, I love her. I said, Mom, you love Jasmine Crockett because, she puts the sound bites out there and she out there whooping ass and all that other stuff, right? I said, Mom, go look at Jasmine Crockett's congressional record. What is she doing for Black people? What is she proposing to do for Black people in Dallas, to which she represents? I said, you go to her congressional record, you will find Dreamers, you will find post office naming, you will find illegal immigration she's for, you will find Ukraine votes, you will find whatever else it is. Nothing specific for Black people. They sound good and they look good because, Jasmine Crockett got the weed, the sister girl. Yeah, you bad built body bitch. Use my language, but that's what she said. That's a quote. According to when she was arguing with Marguerite Taylor Greene.
I wanted for a point of correction. She never called her the B word. I just want to put that out there.
Sorry, let me add that in there. We know what she meant. But anyway, bad built body, whatever chick, whatever the thing is. It's all great and it's all performative. But at the end of the day, we need to check their paperwork. Check their paperwork. They're not putting illegals out of this country that don't have paperwork. So, sisters, I know it sounds good. I know it looks good. She got the nails, she got the weed, she got the pearls. It all looks great. Check the paperwork. And I guarantee you, you will be shocked that there's nothing specific for Black people, but yet she's up there harping and carping all this Blackness, and it's all bullshit.
Hey, Kermit says, heck, I'm from Texas. Hate, we got to hold that one with Crockett. Yeah, she's definitely a firecracker, talking fast and all that other stuff. But, as I always ask people, what are they saying? What is being said between all of the ruckus? There's a lot of people who can preach. And I always do give this analogy. Your grandmas or your mamas or whoever, right? They might go to church and they come back, today they pull the hat with the wig attached to it off, put it on the couch. Ooh, child. Oh, he sure was preaching today. Oh, you should have been at church. Oh, yeah, Granny. What was he saying? I don't know, but it sure was good. Well, you don't remember Hey, you know, but the church was on fire. Ooh, it was just filled with the Holy Ghost. But you can't tell me what scripture was he preaching from. You know, I didn't even notice he even had a Bible up there, but he was running to and fro, you know, hopping from the chandeliers and screaming, and everybody was falling out. You don't know what the message was? It's the same thing. It sounds good because it sounds good. But what are they saying? And I ask people of that a lot. What is being said? You know, we saw that even unfold with Kamala. With a couple of times, you better thank a union member. And then when she went to church and she was preaching, she had the cadence going on. A lot of people was like, "Ooh, all right, what was she saying?" You know, I don't know. But yeah, it sure sounded good. Yeah, it sounded good, but is it good? So we have to learn how to decipher what people are actually saying. And I've always said that about Jasmine Crockett, and I know a lot of people don't like it. But I just what I do. Okay, from what I do, I could kind of pick people apart and what they're saying. And that's something that I've gotten good at, and I've always been able to clock, as they say, Jasmine Crockett's tea. She is just a new up and coming Black Miss Leadership. They do it every time. When I say they, the Democrats, they cart people out there like her out there, and they put her in front of everybody. We saw her come on the scene when she was defending Biden. Well, that's his son. She's talking about Hunter when they was trying to gaffle him up for bringing crack allegedly into the White House and all the other stuff he was doing. Well, what do you expect him to do? That's his son. He's supposed to defend. And I knew right then. I said, okay, I know what her marching orders are. You listen to Hakeem Jeffries. He sounds like Obama. Ralph Warnock sounds like Obama. Cory Booker. You could close your eyes and you will swear up and down you're listening to Obama. So it's like, and then the cats that was in Tennessee, the Justins, they got kicked out of the state house. They all sound like Obama. I'm like, they must go to school and teach him that. So again, it sounds good, but what are they saying? All right, let me get to some of these comments. You have to be really good at that. All right, I see my good friend on here, Ricky. I'm gonna get right to you just a second, okay? Simo, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. CJ says no, it doesn't look good at all. It looks fake. Laugh out loud serious. I'm so unimpressed with her. Gloria says Jasmine Crockett should go back to Texas and sit down somewhere. I don't know if she gonna do all of that. And Jesse says, agree, Donovan, it's all bull caca. Sharon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says talking fast, saying nothing. Yep, but most people, they like all of that, you know. James says, Demetra, I hear that Orange One is about to send us stimulus checks for $5,000 to every single American, but I may be wrong, but my gut feeling tells me the Orange One will sign for reparations. I don't know. We don't know until we know, but if he never signs reparations, the one good thing that's coming out of this is Black people understand that we must do for self. All we have is each other. We have the money. We have the brains. We have the power. There's nothing stopping us but us. Now, I know listen, somebody gonna get their feelings. I know white supremacy, systemic and institutional racism is still a thing, but we got to remove the thing that we can control, and that's us and the roadblocks we put up for ourselves, because there's a lot of things in our community that we still have to take care of, and the things we can take care of ourselves. But again, if Trump never signs a reparations check, what is it that we need to do? And speaking of which, Savior's Day is this, the address, if you will, is this Sunday by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He will be delivering the address, and my father is there, in case you guys don't know. He says, you guys are coming next year. I said, absolutely. Yes, sir. We'll be there. But he's going to deliver the speech. I won't be here on Sunday. I'll be in California, but I'm still going to be sitting down to watch it. And I would tell you guys this, whether you follow the Nation of Islam or not, this is one for the records, and you do not want to miss this speech, as I know it is going to. All the other ones are off the charts, but this one, we're going to be talking about this one, I guarantee you. So y'all tune in for that Sunday.
And real quick, Demetra, I want to add on to what you just said. Why is it that the Democratic Party, and this is what I'm hearing, and I think I'm very objective. Like I said, I'm a recovering Democrat. So again, I want them to do the right thing. I want them to be successful. But Why is it that the Democratic Party keeps telling us we're victims? Why are we always victims? Oh, it's racism. Oh, it's this, it's that. Like you said, we have to get over that BS and start doing for ourselves. If anything that I've learned in this last election cycle is this, we're gonna have to start doing for ourselves. T. Delgado in the comments said, there's a lot of federal workers being laid off. That's very true. But there were a lot of federal workers laid off in the 90s, a lot of base closures in the 90s. A lot of people got laid off. You are not guaranteed a job. See, that's what I don't understand. How is it that people think they are entitled to a job that is dependent on another man giving them a check? Now, if you own your own business, totally different scenario, right? But so what? Those federal employees are getting laid off. It's unfortunate. I was a federal employee. I was in the military, base closures. I saw guys with 17 years in service denied reenlistment to get to the 20-year retirement. But that's what happens. And again, you're going to be okay. But we almost sound like these immigrants. Well, even though I'm here illegal, I've been a good person, so I should be allowed to stay. So because you've been a government worker for so many years, you're entitled to that job to sit there and just collect a check. And I've worked with some of these civilian federal employees, and I'm not saying they're all bad. Most of them do the job. However, there are some of those that get tenured and they don't do the job. Technology, all kinds of stuff is happening, and we need to cut the fat. The government always grows out of control, and then you have to cut it back. And that happens every cycle. It happened in the 80s. It happened in the 90s under Bill Clinton, and it's happening now under Donald Trump. Remember, it was Biden that brought in 80,000 IRS workers to shake you down for what's in your pockets. We never laid those people off. You know what I mean? All these people came in. Government expanded under the Democratic Party, and we don't need that. We need smaller government, like Ronald Reagan said. Government is not the solution. Government is the problem. So I just wanted to add that in there. We are not entitled. You are not entitled to a job, civilian sector or government sector. You are not entitled.
And I want to say this, and Donovan I had this conversation before. Let me say, I acknowledge everybody before I get into it. The Undisputed Truth, how you doing? Says this so-called black leaders are leading black Americans down a dead-end street. Al Sharpless, damn. You say, is the main culprit. Says, stop following Al Sharpless. No, I totally agree with you. James says, so you're talking to Tracy. Your average logical thing, it says, most of them, I know, don't do ish at work. Jupiter says the BRAC realignment was no joke in the 90s. And Salam says the government was not out of control in the 80s. It was out of control after Reagan. And Kermit says government jobs means get one. And he says, and kick back. I never said entitled. So I'm going to say this, because Donovan and I had this conversation the other day. Let me sit up. I'm kind of slouching in my chair, just kind of tired. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of, I think they said upwards of 12,000 or more federal employees have lost their jobs. Some of those jobs probably were nonsensical or whatever the case is. But I see a lot of people with the sentiment of the gloating, the nah, that's what you get. Y'all losing y'all jobs. And I always say, be careful what you laugh at. And I'm going to go a step further. Farrakhan said, don't laugh, learn. A lot of y'all out there laughing at people losing their jobs. And at the end of the day, a lot of those government workers did not create that job. That job was created for them, whether it was out of fraud or whatever it was. Those people fill out applications somehow and they got that job, okay? Now, the other thing is, if you are a government employee, you're probably making a pretty good penny. Let's just keep it a buck. But to laugh or to make light of or say you should be all right as you last year, I've been fired. And I was fired from a good job. I was a personal banker and I was doing all right. I was fired through no fault of my own. I tell y'all this story before. And they got fined and penalized and all that for firing me. I was at will, but you still can't just fire at will employees for absolutely no reason. So I know what that's like to sit there in that office, and a lot of those federal employees did not even get that. They got a phone call or a text, email saying you no longer, need to be here. I know what it's like to sit there in that desk, and a manager wants to subjugate you and tell you why you losing your job, especially when your numbers were through the roof. All of my numbers were through the roof. A great customer, never had no issues, nothing. And while they're what's going through your mind and your body from your head to your feet is, I got bills to pay. I got a child in college. I got a car payment. How am I going to make all of these ends meet? Regardless if you got a savings or whatever it is you got going on, it's never fun to be on the other end of I lost my job. And I'm saying this because I see a lot of people thinking this is funny or that's what you get. And, like I said, Donovan and I had this conversation the other day, and you're not entitled to a job. I'm entitled to that job if I filled out an application and I got hired and I am doing a job. All right, listen, at Taco Bell, there's somebody not stirring the goddamn beans the way they're supposed to be stirring. So at every job, there is an employee somewhere not doing their job. But to say that because a few employees are maybe effing off on the job, then you're not entitled to that, I think it's wrong. And y'all always hear me quote this. There before the grace of God, there go I. That I'm glad that I'm not in a position to where, everybody can be fired from somewhere. Even Steve Jobs was fired from the company he created, and that was Apple. So nobody's above it all. But I thank God that that's not me. So I try to be careful as to how I frame everybody else's misfortune, because there's somebody somewhere that may be plotting on you. Whether you working somewhere, whether you getting some governmental assistance somewhere, somehow, right? Again, I'm not saying that those jobs that are frivolous should be there, but we got to be careful. And I hear this conversation too about food stamps. I hear this conversation. Oh, as people sitting up and they wasting, and this food stamp fraud is less than 1%. But somehow that gets framed. But again, there's people who are working on food stamps. There's people who are working 40 hours a week. Walmart, and we talked about this before, is the biggest benefactor of government assistance, the subsidies from the government, because most of their employees cannot afford to go put a roof over their head. I just read a study earlier today that in Dallas, Fort Worth, it says most of the people are, I'd say a lot, not most, are in foreclosures of their homes. Most Americans, and they say especially there, are paying over 50% of their income for rent or mortgage. So there's a lot of people who depend on those things, but to sit anywhere and say that's what they get, or they need to get out there and work. And now they got y'all, we talked about this the other day. They want to regulate whether people can buy junk food or not. Hell, if you're crafty, you can make junk food at home. You still gonna let me buy flour and sugar? So the point is, a lot of this stuff is overreach, but be careful. What the things that you say over other people, because I'm gonna say this again. As Farrakhan said, don't laugh, learn.
Yes. And again,
yes, Tony, be humble. Be humble.
Yeah. And like you said, this is another a good excuse or a reason for us to do for ourselves. So you got fired. Okay, big deal, whatever. You keep it pushing. You're not going to roll over and die. But this is another reason for us to go back to our basics and start opening up our own businesses, start supporting our own folks, start rebuilding our own communities. When you depend on somebody else to feed, house, and clothe you, they can starve, make you homeless, and so on, so on, so forth. So what I'm saying in general is don't despair. Everybody, the cycles, whatever, go through, they go through whatever. You made it through 4 years of Trump. You made it through the first 4 years. You're going to be okay. You might have to downsize. You might have to get rid of that Mercedes Escalade, whatever it is that you want, all the toys you wanted to do. It's unfortunate, and I know this ain't a religious show. I'm a Christian, but it's biblical. Even in Islam, all the religions say this. You are supposed to be saving in the good times for when the famine does come. And that's when you buy your stuff. When do most people buy their homes? At least the smart people, during a recession. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. But my point is, this is a great time for us to get together as Black people and reassess, open our own businesses, and support each other. So sometimes that negative is a positive.
Yeah. And again, like I said, you know, and like you said, the minister said it, the messenger said it, and Marcus Garvey said, yeah, we should do for self. Okay. But there are some people who will never be business owners. They're not. Because when you want to see your ass to McDonald's or Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the cleaners, Walmart, you're going to need somebody to check you out or stock the shelves or something. So those jobs are never going to go away. Yes, we should do for self. But again, there's a lot of people who are, they have a rude awakening. And I just hate that we've come this far in society to where we make light of that. And I always say, it's easy for you to, not you, Donovan, I'm saying in general, for you to people to give advice. Well, you'll be all right. You need to, you ain't in that situation. So how you gonna sit up and tell you gonna pay my bills? How you guaranteeing I'm gonna be all right? Like I said, it's easier said than done. So I think while this correction or reckoning or whatever we call it is coming to fruition, we need to be compassionate, because it's them tomorrow or today. It might be you tomorrow. So yes, Tony, be humble. That's all. And like I said, I've seen this a lot, and it just disgusts me to see people sit up so haughty. And I don't go to church, but I do know in the Bible it says pride comes before a fall. So while you sitting up thumbing your nose at everybody else and you'll be all right, you better hope that knock on the door don't come at your goddamn address. That's all I'm saying. Let's see here. Skipping on down. JJ, how you doing? Says, never laugh at somebody else's job loss, just common sense. Yeah. And sometimes you just got to remind people that it's not funny. Papa Nally says, personally, I've been waiting on this get back. Sorry, not sorry. Been out here struggling. Yeah. So basically, you're wishing on other people what you don't like. So you got to be careful of that too. And unfortunately, and I don't know your situation, Papa Nally and Papa Naya, rather. I hope everything gets well for you. But I just feel like something's telling me to say this to you. Maybe things will get better when you stop wishing things get worse for everybody else. Just meditate on that for a minute. That's all I'm going to say. And Sister Shirley, thank you too for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, I was laid off 3 times from private sector, but I made it through. Yeah, you make it through, but it's rough. It's rough to try to figure out what I was going to do now, right? The average logical thinker says, I work with nurses who treated me like trash, but when they lost their government contract, I notified them secretly 30 days before, even when I was directed not to. Yeah, because it's like, this is going to hit you like a ton of bricks, even though you're a jerk. I just think you should know you're going to have a whole new reality in 30 days. So yes. As Eddie said, the main issue is that the main industries like automobile and many others is no more polarized to particular countries. Many people are not prepared. Even, every country is making his own car today. Okay, Yanni, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jesse says, I've been fired from jobs for no logical reason, and I'm at will. State Arby's fired me for suspicion of selling drugs. Shaking my head. Yeah, I hope you sued him.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy though? We act like losing a job is something new to the Black community. Maybe it's because we have a moist generation of kids and stuff, and people that grew up in a moist generation. But I remember growing up, seeing my uncles go from job to job, get fired for no reason. We're Black folks out here. So when I see Black people panicking about losing a job, it's like, we make it happen one way or the other. What's his name? Kerman says here. He says, because when I got fired, I did not worry about retirement. I hit my 401k up. Black folks have been getting fired for years. We handle adversity a lot better. And we do. We just, we make it happen. Usually, and a lot of us, we cash out our 401ks and insurance policies or whatever, and we make it happen. So again, I'm not saying that that's part of the Black culture, but name me another group that has gone through what we have gone through and are still here today. I'll wait.
Yeah, and I've been hearing that argument too. Is conflation, because black people are used to losing jobs and struggling and shucking and surviving. Don't mean that we should make light of it. It's not funny whether you black, and especially black, because we do struggle, right? But it's not. Why are we making light of it anyway? And again, I'm not one of those people to tell people, you should and woulda, coulda, shoulda, because I'm not in your situation. Again, by the grace of God, that I'm not. So I'm not one to tell people how they should react to a new reality of how I'm going to put food on the table or keep this roof over my head. That's not humble behavior. Oh, you black, you should be all right. And I don't never want to think us to think that struggling and surviving is normal. It's not. And when we are able to move that mind frame, because and I've heard a lot of people say this, and I shake my head every time I hear it. Oh, we used to it. So why y'all complain? That's bullshit. To say that black people are used to struggling, why are we complaining? We should always complain when we're struggling because we don't have to struggle. Again, some of that is on us, but we should not make light of that. And I say this too. I have one daughter biological, and all my nieces and nephews, I consider them to be my children, and I've never, my siblings, we have never, because I was never, and I'm not saying I never, but I was never taught struggle. Even if we struggled, I was never taught that was normal. And I never taught my children, nieces, nephews, and my daughter, I never taught them that was normal. Even when I didn't have it. We going to the store. Now I tell them we going within reason. But my daughter would tell you, she could probably count on one hand the times that I told her, no, we couldn't afford it. Matter of fact, she could probably tell you on 3 fingers or less the time I told her, oh, we can't afford it. Now, I'm talking about when we going to the grocery store or whatever. The point that I'm making is I don't teach lack, and I didn't teach it to my children, and I would never sit up here and teach it to us. We got to get out of that frame of mind. We're used to it. That's not something we should be. I almost said the F word. I need to go on vacation, but it's not something we should be bragging about. We're used to. It's struggling. Never.
Absolutely. Agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, let me get on down. We got 15 minutes left. Let's see here. CJ says, make sure I didn't skip anybody. And Rojo, how you doing? He says, my grandmother always said, if they can feed you, they can starve you too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, and my mom, I'll go a step further, and I'm sure she got this from somebody. It's but a poor rat that has one hole. You got one hole. A lot of times for some people, that's the job. Yeah, your job can fire you. Great. Not great. But do you have some other alternate sources of income? Are there some things that you're doing to feed yourself? God forbid that happens. My father says, as long as you got these, you should be able to feed yourself. As long as you got this, you should be able to think of ways to feed yourself. So, yeah. And I've said this when I first got on YouTube. And I started to get some backlash for some things that I said. And it was some sisters, some brothers too, but mostly sisters. Oh, we gonna cancel you. I said, you don't have the ability to feed me, and you do not have the ability to starve me. See, I'm one of the rare people on this thing, social media, that completely depends on social media to feed me. See, only a few people know actually what I do outside of this. Now, I'm in public relations. I consult people. Again, I'm a shameless plug, DemetraKaye.com. If you need my services, go on there and check it out. But there's other things that I do to make sure I eat, because I'm not going to be one that's up without a paddle, right? And I'm telling that for everybody. I learned that from my mama, and I had a stepdad and my dad. I learned that from them. Be able to figure it out. I come from entrepreneurs, because I never want to be in a position to where my job dry up and I'm a starve. But again, I'm not going to be laughing at people who are in that situation, because indeed, some people go to work 10, 12 hours a day, and they're like, I don't have time to do nothing else. But as they say, if you're working for somebody else 40 hours a week or 8 hours a day, come home and at least give a half an hour to your own stuff. That's all I'm going to say about that. The average logical thinker says, everybody not meant to be an entrepreneur, though. We need workers to make the world go round. Yeah, and that's a conversation people don't want to have. Carmen says, yeah, because when I got fired, I didn't not worry about retirement. I hit my 401k up. Black folks been getting fired for years. We handle adversity better. Do we? Do we handle it better? I don't know. I'm asking, how do you handle adversity if we're still at the bottom of the totem pole? Are we handling that well? I don't know everything. I'm just asking y'all. Priscilla, how you doing? Yes, Edgy says blacks need to be entrepreneur mindset because the chance of being hired by another group is very slim. And we were already that. We're already that, right? Y'all remember the candy lady in the hood? That candy lady was making a killing. Where the candy ladies at? In the hood, where you can go, the candy house, knock on her door. You know, Miss Johnson, I want to give me 2, lollipops. And she had it for you. Ice cream, she had pickles, she had chips, the regular stuff that we eat as kids. We never even really had to go to the corner store where them other folks is at, because the candy lady had all of that. What happened where, they was making plates in the neighborhood every Friday. You can go buy you a plate. So there's, we the kings and queens of that, right? But are we really handling it if we still here instead of here? And I'm just asking. Rosande, you say, I want to know why when black people say particular things like talking about the inflation and the illegals, but when they go to these town hall meetings, they don't say anything about reparations because they know probably to fall on deaf ears. And it's not, well, I guess the city councils, they could legislate for reparations for the citizens of that town. And there's some that have, but maybe they just don't know that they can. All right, Kason, how you doing? I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Thundercats, he says Thundercats peace. Okay, don't need. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. That red boy, how you doing? Says Caucasians underlie themselves when they lose everything. Black people keep it pushing to the next episode. I'll tell y'all a story. It's everybody who's in that situation. Somebody's very near and dear to me. Thought about taking their own life because in 2008, when the housing market crashed again, all of their money and everything crashed too, and they did not know how to handle that. And they were very black, very smart, very resourceful and everything. But when that reality hits you, yeah, it's like a ton of bricks. So it's that's across the board for everybody. And again, let's not minimize the things that we go through because we tough. Because you know who else does that to us? White supremacy, the medical field, and everything. Oh, black people don't feel that much pain. They all right. You don't need to give them that much. And here we are doing that to each other. Let's stop doing that. Now, are there things we could do? Again, y'all, I pointed this picture is kind of pixelating a little bit. I pointed this all the time. Madam C.J. Walker was one of them who decided at a time where it wasn't conducive for her to do that. She decided to build an empire for her people. So it's doable. But again, let's not make struggling for black people normal because it shouldn't be normal. You're welcome, Tracy. Sister Shirley says, anything you haven't lived, you don't know it. Yep. CJ says, that's very true. We aren't supposed to struggle. Yanni says, the black community struggles with a spirit of oppression since our ancestors came off those ships. You better talk about it. Fishing Rick says, left my job. He says, left my job. I think he meant left my job at Under Armour and started driving Uber and Lyft. You could do that too. Yep. First year, 80 grand. Yep. People have options and you can do whatever you want when you want. No fear. There you go. There's a lot of people make money. Amazon, Lyft, Uber, and they work for themselves when they want. So it's things you can do. Hey, Dano. Carmen says, being at a job 40 years and retiring and dying 2 months later, not a good plan either. We got to get somewhere in the middle, hopefully one day. Yeah, there's a book. I think it's called The 8-Hour Work Week. Tim McFerris, I think his name is. I read it years ago, and it changed my life. Says we are, like you said, under the impression that we got to work 40 hours a week, hustle and start and die and retire at 70,000 years old. Like I said, most people die shortly after that. Whatever happened to I work, I do something that I like, I make enough money, and I retire at 50, 55. Now, maybe I don't retire with a lot of money, but I don't have a lot of debt. I could travel, do whatever I need to do, and live a nice life. Because when you're 90, you ain't trying to get on no plane. But 20 hours go across the world and then you get off and you're trying to acclimate to the time difference and then you're walking out. You're trying to sit in front of your TV in your recliner and watch TV and die. That's all you have energy for. So you're supposed to do these things while you're young or young enough, right? Yeah, logical thinker says, I think we should be proud of being able to overcome adversity like no other. Yeah, and we do. But we should stop normalizing struggle in our community, which is partially why we don't move forward, because we think this is normal. We think it's normal to be eating a jam sandwich, which means you jam 2 pieces of bread together and, oh, well, I'm doing the best I can. Is that the best you can right now? But should that be your reality forever? I don't want to be eating no jam sandwiches with just 2 pieces of bread. And I've done that before. So I'm just gonna put it on out there. Yanni says exactly. I didn't know I was poor till them folks told us. Same here. And Sister Shirley says, I came from a family of 9 siblings and didn't know I was poor until I became an adult. Yeah, because you don't teach it. You're not supposed to teach your children that. I hate to hear a parent, we ain't got it. I can't afford it. And even if you can, you ain't got to reinforce that to them. Almost like it's their fault. I ain't got all that. You know, Lady St. Clair, how you doing? Mrs. Vision, what's going on with you? Brother Ricky, he says, damn, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther Demetra Queen, you stupid Demetra Queen Jr., you crazy. But I love you, though. And thank you, Average Logical Thinker, for asking everybody to hit the like button. And Lighten, how you doing? Says, I've been through 3-4 times losing a job. When you work in the private sector, you don't have a guaranteed job. Government employees didn't cry out for 40. He says for 500 Tyson employees that lost their jobs. But again, that's a false equivalency, because I didn't cry that the Tyson people lost their jobs. That means I'm supposed to get some get back. Come on, let's think of the things that we're saying. There's a lot of people who lose their jobs that I don't even know they're losing their jobs. And if I do, I don't cry about it. I have compassion. But does that mean that that's supposed to come back on me because I didn't shed a tear for other people that lost their jobs? We got to stop doing that to each other. Because you have misfortune don't mean that I'm going to sit at home and I'm just going to wait for me to get misfortune because you got it. I might not, my circumstances may be different from yours. Maybe I've already had misfortune and now I'm on the other side of misfortune. Because trust me, I've had a lot of misfortunes. I had a house burned down. I lost my vehicles. I've been fired from a very good job. I've had a lot of bad stuff happen to me. And I like to think that I'm on the other side of that. Who knows? But I don't think because I've had misfortune, why you ain't getting it? You should get it too. We got to stop that. I love you though.
Yeah, we got to stop it. But unfortunately, it is human nature to have those different types of people. And unfortunately, there are people that enjoy chaos. There are people that enjoy this and the people that enjoy that. And that's the people that they're just out here. I mean, it's a human trait. You know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just a human trait.
But we get rid of that human trait when we acknowledge that we have that trait. Yes. For whatever reason, it's been proven that it's easier to be negative than positive. It's just easier to do that. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Oh, cheer up. But I don't think I can. Sure, you can. Just try smiling. I don't want to smile. I want to. You know, it's just, I don't know why, but it takes work to be positive. It takes work when you're complaining and bitching and crying to say, knock it off. My brother, who I love very dearly, I know he get on our nerves and he's going to come back here, Walter. He said this to me, and anytime I feel like I'm having a bad day or I want to, and I don't complain a lot. My daughter will tell you that I do. I mostly be joking. You got your nerve up there wincing at me, Donovan. I always think it is what he says. My brother says, if you feel like your life is terrible, take your ass to the nearest cemetery, stand there and ask anybody in there, would you trade places with me? If they could, every last one of them would get up. Matter of fact, they fight to the death. Now, I know that's kind of weird because they already did. They will fight to the death to trade places with you. So when you think about it in that way, you say, wait a minute. Why am I complaining? I'm not dead. Is my situation bad? Is it worse than everybody? Yes, it is. But if I still got breath in my body, hell, there's somebody he ain't got no feet. But guess what? Mentally, they going to stand up. Emotionally, they going to stand up and they're going to say, but I'm not dead. So when we get there, instead of thinking negatively, trust me, it's easy to do. But you got to think about the people. Anytime I see somebody homeless, my heart hurts. And then I get grateful that I'm not sleeping under underpass. But guess what? All of us, how close are we to doing that? If you really think, and listen, I know a lot of us were rich, we're millionaires, we're balling on, but there's a lot of people living quiet lives of desperation. You might live in a big giant house and all the houses around you, they're big, and people pulling in with these big body Mercedes and Teslas and you thinking, damn, they got it good. But then they go back and behind those closed doors and they crying over a table full of bills. They don't know how they're going to go to the grocery store and spend $10. But you think they got it all together. There's many people living quiet lives of desperation because they lying to you and you eating it up. So we have to be grateful, even though we're not in the house we want to live in, the car we want to drive, the food that you want to eat. You ain't eating top sirloin steak every day. If that's you will keep hustling. But be grateful that you are eating a bologna sandwich, because there's somebody who's digging in the trash as we speak for the sandwich that you complained over, that your wife messed up, that she made you to take for lunch. They digging through that trash trying to eat that.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. We talk about people losing their jobs and we shouldn't be sad. Did not the Democrats lose their job at the fault of their own? And should we not be glad or sad in the aspect of what is going on with the Democratic Party and how Black men are leaving the party and things of that nature? Or should we just be like, oh, well, next time, and help them and reach out and do all that? I think it's all about perspective in how you look at it. Because I'm going to tell you straight here on this platform, the Democrats lost their job, and I'm glad, and I'm dancing, and I'm happy, and all that other good stuff, because it is waking my people up. And I know it's perspective.
I mean, the Democrats losing their jobs, they're elected. So you're not doing the job, and then the people fire you. That's just the way it is. But then if you think about it, you believe what Elon and them are saying, a lot of them, and we know it, right? You go in there, they're making $174,000 a year, but a lot of them leave out millionaires. So what else are you doing? Now, I know a lot of them that have other stuff going on. Maybe they're real estate, they're lawyers and things like that, but they'll be all right. A Democrat in office, and especially if they've been in office for a time, they probably can afford to lose their job because they've amassed some wealth. Queen Adaya, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Catherine says Black Wall Street, Rosewood. Yeah, we built all of that. Let's see who else. Cooking with Miss D, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lady Diana, how are you? And Joy says being self-sufficient is a must. Yeah, we just got to learn how to do that. Because our ancestors are that, right? Alonzo, how you doing? Says hello, everyone. Thank you. And let's see here. CJ says my grandmother wasn't even trying to leave Jersey. He says at 90. So was she working at 90? Queen Adai says, teach the children as babies so they'll understand finances and the importance of general wealth. Yep. Enlightened says, we endure and overcome the hardship. You only grow through what you endure and are able to overcome, which makes you strong. If you're never tested, you never know your strength. Yeah, I agree with that halfway. And I'll tell you halfway why. Because I've struggled. I don't want my daughter or my nieces and nephews, I don't want nobody to have to do or struggle the way I did. See, when you become a parent, and even before you become a parent, right, you're building a foundation, you make it so that your children don't struggle. Now, I'm going to give you an example. There's a lot of, Blue Ivy, she'll never struggle. She might have some struggles, but it'll never be financial. It'll never be those type of things. Why? Because her mom and dad, they did what they needed to do to make sure their children don't struggle. So, there's certain things that make you tough, but we got to stop teaching that to our children. Well, I didn't have it, so you ain't gonna have it either. The other problem with that is, they said, for the first generation of millionaires rarely produce a second. On the flip side of that is because, well, I don't want you to have to go through what I went through, so I'm gonna no. And I'm gonna give y'all another example. I know a lot of y'all don't like Trump. But even before Trump ran for office, a lot of people who know about Trump, who studied Trump, he's a businessman at the crux of it, give or take, I guess. He said for his children, when he was a billionaire, y'all got to go to school. Y'all not coming in this business without a degree. You must go to school. You're not going to come in here and just whatever, right? You got to earn it. So with that, if you got something, you want to teach your children how to keep it when you die. Which is why we give away grandmama's house, our mom and daddy's house when they die. They give it to us. We don't know what to do. I didn't know I was supposed to be paying. You didn't see the notice coming in the mail for the property taxes. I didn't know that's what that was. So then you're losing the doggone house that your grandmama and them was scrubbing floors for. You losing it to the city and they be selling on an auction block because they didn't teach you how to keep what they built. So yes, some struggle is good. But we got to teach them how one, not to go through the struggle and how to keep the stuff that we struggled for. That's all I'm saying. Conscious Ethan, how you doing? Says I blame Democrats for everything. Okay, well, damn. All right, Angela, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna skip down. Y'all know I'm behind here. Jay, thank you. You say we compare ourselves to third world conditions and say, look how they are living in that. I'm not comparing myself to third world when we built the richest country. Yeah, so with that, we built the richest country. Let's act like it. Because if our ancestors did that, why ain't we doing it? That's the conversation we need to be having. And our ancestors did it during some of the most adverse situations. We talking about whole lynchings, okay? For you being the wealthiest black man, even if you was black, in some of those cases, you was the wealthiest man. So yeah, they hunted you down and wanted you, ran out of town and stole all your stuff because you were successful. We don't have that. Well, kind of, sort of. I know they're still taking black people's land, but we have it a little bit better than our ancestors did. And even though they still built. So I'm not saying we should compare ourselves to a third world country, but if you ever one of those people that think you need to complain about something while you go to bed at night with a cover over your head and a roof over your head and some food in the refrigerator, you need to stick yourself. Because there's some people who aren't doing that. And if you don't like the situation you're in, you can change it. Because one thing my mom always told me, you are in the situation you're in because of you, whether you want to be there or not. And my mama told me that when I was, she said, you are going through what you're going through. And when you're at where you're at because you want to be. She said, if you wanted to change your situation, you would do things to do that. And my brother told me the same thing. And from that, it lit a fire under my ass. And I've been on fire ever since. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I want you guys to also remember, we, under Joe Biden, we have been living in an artificial economy. It's been pumped up by all the money that has been put into the economy. So not only are you going to see federal workers being laid off, it's funny how they're not reporting how these independent and private companies are laying off people as well. So it isn't just a federal thing in Donald Trump. It is an economic thing of the economy showing and revealing its true self versus this false narrative that was put out by all the money being pumped into the economy. Private industries are laying off people as well. And I think this morning I read it was like 20,000 people for, I forget what company it is, but 20,000 people were laid off recently at a pretty big company. And this is happening all over the country. These companies are laying people off. It was an artificial economy. And we got to understand that. We got to understand economics. We got to understand financing. And if you don't understand that, when there's too much money put out into the economy, it creates inflation and so on, so on, so forth. Jobs are being created because they're just throwing money out there and people are getting paid. And then when the lights come on and the reality actually hits, the economy has always been here and it never recovered from the COVID situation.
Hey, Michael, he says most white Americans disapprove of President Trump handling domestic and international affairs, and most Black Americans approve of handling domestic and international affairs. He has a higher approval rating than the Democrats, I would say. I think some of that is the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of all of that. There's a lot of people who are being affected by him. And somebody else said this on here. I don't remember who it was. It was earlier on in the program. But yeah, white people are being affected too. They said the Democrats screw over Black people. I think he said the Republicans screw over everybody. And so unfortunately, we're starting to see that being the case. So yes, indeed. All right, let me skip on down. Ricky Clover, how you doing? It says through Doge investigations, King Trump, right, is uncovering unnecessary funding on foolishness. Trump says he will be giving American taxpayers like $5,000 stimulus checks. They're entertaining. They say he's going to do it. They're entertaining. It remains to be seen, right? When the checks hit the mailbox, then we can say, all right, now, until you do right, how you doing? It says Black First FBA family. Yes, indeed. Joey, how you doing? It says I myself have always been self-employed most of my young adult life. The only time I didn't consider myself wasn't self-employed when I was in the military. There you go. Lady Diana says retirement is awesome. Yeah, I bet it is, right? Reba, how you doing? Says they won't be able to put their hands on the cookie jar. Sunlight says, yes, Demetra Kaye, I understand that struggle mentality has to end. Yes, let's stop teaching our babies that struggle is okay. It's not okay. It sucks. James just says the self-powered car and SUVs, okay? And Hey, Brother Norris, how you doing? Says, if you think the clock woke you up, go to any cemetery and say, come on now, set off a clock and see who gets up. Just saying, you better talk about it. On Leah's, how you doing? It says, on Leah's. Okay, I see what you did there. It says, it's different when you're self-hurting compared to being a politician who can harm millions of Black people with policies. I kind of don't feel sorry for those types of people. Yeah, you know, again, that job, they are voted in by the people, hired by the people, so they can also be fired by the people if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And as Edgy, thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, in the world of blinds, it says in the world of blinds, the one-eyed is always king. I have to think about that one. Fresh Air says they give government grants to their circle of people, then invest in, come on now, into the companies on the market, sometimes through spouse. That's what you call laundering. Money laundering. Mini FBA, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Tracy says, met a person the other day about to give up on her mama's house because she didn't want to be bothered after I finished speaking. I'm not sure if it's shame, guilt, or rethinking her choice. Also, if you ashamed her well, hopefully you did. Maybe she just didn't know what she didn't know, right? Kev J, how you doing? Says, how you gonna build something if we keep hearing that we broke? It takes money to make money. Yeah, but we know that we see almost $2 trillion in our community. We just misappropriated. So we got the money, but we got to stop giving it away and stop speaking defeat, right? I don't go to church, but trust me, I know the Bible probably a lot, you know. But you got to, it says that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. You got to speak things as though they are, things as though they are, that are not as though they are, or though they were rather. It also says, it's something else I could say. Oh, as a man thinketh, so is he. Right? So if you think you ain't nothing, you think you're meant here to be here to struggle, then that's what you're going to do. You got to speak things as though you're not. You want to be a CEO of a company, you got to walk and talk in that. My affirmation is crazy. I have it taped up on my wall in my bathroom so that I'll see it every day. I've had affirmations for years. And I would say a lot of those things that I affirmed when I was down and out have come true. I'll tell you that much. But obviously, it's faith without the works is dead. So I could believe, but if I'm not working toward that, then it's something I believe. I'm not, I can't say, oh, I want to be, doing the best salesman, and I never go out and get a salesman job or try to sell nothing. Fresh Air says, build Black America better again. Okay. And T, how you doing? Says, you are being tricked and fooled if you honestly believe a felon and a Nazi billionaire would send $5,000 to working class rather than have it be used for tax breaks for the wealthiest 2%. It remains to be seen. I agree. We don't know nothing yet. Ain't no checks in no mailbox. But until then, we still got to do for self, right? Shiloh, how you doing? Says, true parenting is service. The service of foundation, building and nonstop education to serve is a privilege. Most don't see it that way. Totally agree with you. Carrie, how you doing? Butler, what's going on with you? Okay. I see you, T. I see what you're saying. Okay. Ricky says, so you're talking to Renee. Renee says, Biden pumped up an artificial economy and everybody was still broke as hell. Mr. Norris says, inflation caused layoffs, always has. That is true. Dexter, how you doing? Says, Southwest Airlines lay off corporate people first time in the company history. Woo! Yeah, it's going to get tough. We got to hold on because it's going to get tough. But a lot of this has been prophesized. I tell you all the time, study the Communist Manifesto. I revisit it often. As I went to sleep, I was listening to it the other night. I was telling my brother about it today before I came on here. And I sent it to him to listen to it. Because when you listen to those things, then you start to have an aha moment, like, we're here. And that was done late 1800s, early 1900s. We're here.
Yeah, and another good book to read is George Orwell's 1984. And if you guys read Animal Farm, that kind of tells you what's happening right now. It was prophesized.
Yeah, Cooking Miss D says, no matter how much the truth hurts, it will teach us to do better. Yeah, we got to stop lying to each other and stop selling each other degradation and woe and gloom and doom. Arneva, how you doing? Are you going to be a Savior's Day as well? Mad Dog, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Buckhorse says, I don't have time to feel sorry. Ain't no work going to be done. You better come on now. See, that's a man right there. I ain't got time to be woeing and all this other stuff. I got to get to work. Ricky, he says, Trump $5,000 stimulus check in my pocket will get me to vote for J.D. Vance in 2028. There you go. There you go. Tyrone, how you doing? Says, Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Queen Adia said, did you hear about Trump depositing money to citizens approved by Doge? I haven't heard about that. Depositing money to citizens approved by Doge. I have not heard about that. I'm sure that I will, though. And Shiloh, thank you for the super sticker love and appreciate you for that. It's much appreciated. Black America, where are you coming from? So it sounds like woman babble manifesting bull crap. Your mama ain't on here. Your mama ain't nowhere on this show. What is you talking about, sir? But how you doing? I love you all the same. Fishy with Rick says, don't sleep on YouTube either. Make a channel. Come on now. Make a channel and monetize it and then produce content. That's something you are good at. I'm subscribed to several sisters that make a mint, cooking soul food and all kinds of stuff. I'll be thinking about that too. I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff I know how to do. Maybe I can add it to the channel, maybe start a new channel, whatever. But yeah, you got to start somewhere. They're paying you to make content. I would have even imagined most people watch YouTube than they do TV now or streaming services. They watching it. They watching other people create content. If you got a brain and you could think, you can make content. If you got a voice, you can speak, you can make content. If you could cook, you ain't even got to say a word. You can put some food together, bam, put the recipe, people gonna watch. You know how many recipes like I saved in my Apple Notes of stuff I want to make that I've seen people make? Just saying.
I never thought there would come a day where I would have to pay to watch TV. That is just incredible to me. I think who is that? What sporting event they're going to start streaming now on one of the platforms? They're going to start streaming them.
Are they doing football already?
Yeah, the football's already done, but there's another one they just did. I don't know, but again, baseball, all of these things, and we're paying these guys, and God bless them, they're getting all this money. But like baseball, I hate going to the stadium. You're paying $300, $400 for a ticket, and the stadium is practically empty. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the Christmas game nobody could watch because it was streaming somewhere. So yeah, but again, Brother Don says I can do all things through Yahshua who gives me strength. Yep, Philippians 4:13. It's one of my favorite scriptures. It's from one of my favorite scriptures because my birthday is 4:13, and I just like the scripture. So, Carmen says my mom lived to be 84. After suffering in old age, she was like, don't bring her back unless rather she could be 25 again. World too messy anyway. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring me back as no old woman. Shoot, bring me back as a hot tender. As my daughter say, young, hot, and turned. Bring me back like that. James says, JD Vance got my vote 2028 if he runs, because Trump may run again. Arneva says, I won't be at Savior's Day, but I will be tuned in. Same here. And Corey, thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate you. As Edgy says, in today's economy, blacks are in better position to thrive because they have been at the bottom for too long. Yep.
What are you guys talking about? How dare you guys not support a black woman? Kamala said she's going to be running in 2028. That's what she's looking for. And she said the only reason she lost is because she didn't have enough time. So now you guys can get to know her and everything like that, which to me never doesn't even make sense, because in 2019, she didn't even make it out of the primaries. And so the delusion is real, but they say she's the front runner in the Democratic Party to be president.
I'm going to just let that one go. James, he says, blessings, Sister Demetra, is your biggest admiral. Okay, admirer, I think he meant. I just love. Okay, can't see my eyes today. He says, I have a Barry White song for you. Can't you see? Love Unlimited Orchestra. He said, Uncle Phil is the greatest. Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that. I just love and appreciate you for that. Now it doesn't make my day yesterday seem so bad. Yeah, Arneva. Black America always coming on here with his salty self. Tell your mama I say hi. Yeah, there you go. Yav's logical thinking, cooking with Kaya. She making a bag. She got a lot of haters, but she's becoming rich. Nona, how you doing? Says, I don't watch TV at all. Yeah, I watch it every once in a while. My daughter had me watch this movie yesterday called Long Legs with some sort of a horror thriller. It wasn't bad. With what's his name? Nicolas Cage. He played the character, if you will. It was interesting. But I think that was the last time I watched TV in a while. All right. So okay, yeah. So you're talking to Black America. John says, at Demetra Kaye. Always love the channel with you, dropping knowledge with the signature wave and smile. Well, thank you for being here. I do love and appreciate you for that. Okay, Michael says, although universal basic income is a UBI, does not emphasize Black American freedmen of chattel slavery, how will it help them financially? I understand why cash payment reparations are needed for Black Americans. Yeah, because we want our money. Yes, as Edgy says, 3 times 10,000 members is a game changer, Demetra. Yeah, $3 rather is what you said. Got you. All right. I think, did I get to the bottom, Lady at Diana? You say, your comment skipped up. Y'all got a lot of comments. You said, I make candles and thought about a channel, but I never panned out. Why not? Make the channel and make the candles.
I'll tell you why. You know, and this is so sad in society today, especially in the Black community. We have so many of our elders that have so much knowledge and so much wisdom. The reason why, you know, they don't want to make the channels is because it does take some production skills, which are, you know, grandkids and teenagers know how to do this stuff. You know, let's be real. If you're an older person like myself and you got Wi-Fi in your house, it's most likely because your kids set it up or your grandkids set it up. And that's the reason. If we can get our grandkids to commit to help us do a show every week and all that other stuff, all this knowledge that Norris and Lady Diana and all you guys have that want to do certain things would be out there. But unfortunately, you know, these kids are doing their own thing, and all this knowledge is not going to be recorded. I think, remember in the early 20th century, remember when there was a guy, no, it wasn't a guy, but it was the government of the United States. They went around to the South and they started recording like Lead Belly and the jazz and the music and the cultural history for the National Archives.
Yeah.
We need to do that for YouTube or put it up here in some way where we can archive all of this knowledge from all of these people before they start passing away.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere. And B girl, I did get your email. Do you want me to address it here, or you want me to email you back? If you don't mind me asking, I did get it, and actually was going to respond to you yesterday at the airport, but I didn't go anywhere. I don't know if y'all heard what I said earlier. Y'all know I was supposed to be in California, but my flight was canceled, so I'm leaving actually tomorrow. But if you want me to respond here, or tell me how you want me to respond.
I'm putting her on the list.
And thank you so much, James. He says, love your channel when you go live. He said, I just had my birthday. Oh, you had your birthday the 12th. Well, happy birthday to you. I hope you had a fabulous day. And I hope you have more fabulous birthdays. How about that?
Yes, and real quick, you guys, if you guys have a channel you want to shout out, please, put it in the chat and we'll give it a shout out, stuff like that. Your Astrological Thinker, she has a channel. Roland's Reviews, I want to specifically point her out. She is a teacher by trade, and I'm telling you, if you guys go to her YouTube page, subscribe, become a member, she has been following all sorts of issues that we need to pay attention to. I go to her page to double check to see what she's talking about as topics for what I talk about on my page. And she's following the Dalton thing. She's following where the money is going and Trump and all that other stuff. So go check out Roland's Review. Please do that.
And as I always say too, hey, Roland and Brother Perry, if y'all have a channel y'all want people to follow, I don't mind. Say, follow me. And we all need to do that, right? Let's follow each other. If you have a channel, put it. I'm not one of those people that be putting all that stuff in my. Y'all, if y'all have a business, you want to be followed or whatever. And I know a lot of times people ask me and say, do you advertise businesses? And I don't. And it's not that I don't want to advertise personally and get paid for it. I don't do it because, unfortunately, when you advertise other people's businesses and something go wrong on their end, they come looking at you. I ordered this because I saw it on your channel and I didn't get my what. I ain't built for that. So that's why I say, if you have a business, something, just put in the comment section and tell everybody, hey, this is my business. If y'all don't mind following, go check out my page or whatever, my YouTube, go do that. But I personally don't want to be paid to do that because, like I said, they don't go directly to the business. They'll come to me and say, you told me. So I just want to put that out there. Not that that's personally happened to me, but I know people that it has. And so I'm one of those people, I like to learn from everybody else's mistakes. And Brother Norris says, Demetra and Donovan, this channel started in your thoughts Your imagination, that's the only reason it exists, plus hard work. There you go. There you go. You just got to, put it out there, right? Brother Jesse says, I thought Kamala was running for governor of California. Dems hella desperate if that's the forerunner for 2028. Yes.
Yeah, well, I want you guys to think about this in California. The election for California governor is in 2026. So she's going to run for governor. She has to do it in 2026. Now, if she has aspirations to be president, you can't run for governor and then 2 years later run for president and expect, American, Californians to be, cool with that, because you've only put in 2 years. So her ego is so big. I do think she's going to try to run for president again.
Yeah, everybody, please. And Brother Reggie, he's not on here. I think he's probably asleep because he's in Japan. So they're, but he's got a channel that's devoted to Japan, life in Japan. And I think it's an awesome channel. We need to start seeing our people living in other places other than America to see how everybody else lives. And he does a great job of putting his content together. It's well thought out. He's got, music in the background, and he takes you on different adventures and stuff. It's a great channel. I see great things for his channel and everybody's channel. So if we can, just follow as many people as we can, because the more subscribers you get and views, and you start getting paid. Now, I'm keep it real with y'all. I don't make that much money on this channel because I got 22 wonderful 1,000 subscribers. I don't get a lot of views, and that's fine. As I said, I don't do this for the money. You know what I mean? Just being transparent with you, I don't. But depending on your content, you can make a lot of money. There's people who do. So just want to put that out there.
Wait a minute. I discovered you. I'm the one that put you out here on the YouTube streets and all this other stuff, because you were doing this stuff in your home with your friends.
Well, I've had a YouTube channel. Just want to put it out there.
Right. But the point is, I put you on Front Street. I mean, pimping ain't easy. It ain't. I expect some money. I don't care what happens to you. You go out there and you get me my money.
You right. It ain't easy, and you won't put those fishnets on for nobody. And I need to figure out how to get you to do that. Woo! Picture that.
Jesse Paris, as known as Chayton Nkrumah, he has a channel. You guys go check out his channel over there. So
yeah, everybody's got a channel. Put it in there. Yeah, I don't care if you put it in there every time we're on here. That's how we all make it. We got to support each other, right? Follow everybody back. And I know on TikTok they have a thing. I think they still do it. It's called follow back, like follow me, right? They tell people to follow me, and that's how. And they're doing that really in the Black community. Let's follow each other so we can all get checks, And I think on TikTok you need 10,000 subscribers, and then you can start getting paid. I'm at over 6,000 now. I don't really use TikTok much, but I said I'm gonna go on there now so I can start getting me an extra check. I'm just saying, I was getting paid something for Facebook. It's like $12 a month. I'm like, that $12 a month ain't worth the hassle. Every time I post something, this goes against community guidelines and this and that, you're in danger of losing your channel. I'm like, you know what? Let me just demonetize that all together. And Mark Zuckerberg, you could take your $12 and shove it. As Edgy said, Demetra, tell them to go advertise at the Super Bowl. Yeah, Super Bowl won like $1 million for 3 seconds. I don't know if they got it like that. Rolling says, I would never vote for the demonic Democrats. Yeah, they're losing steam every day. Michael says those days of elite politicians are over. Yep, I agree. Unless you're part of the oligarchy, right? Tracy says, I was already following Roland and did not know. There you go. That's because she on her game, right? You are following an awesome person. Daryl, he says, what happened in Texas? I believe a 6-year-old killed herself. Yes, because they told her that her parents will get deported. Is it true? That's what they're saying, that she committed suicide due to, I guess, kids harassing her, saying that her parents are going to get deported. That's what they're saying. 6th grader, I think she was a 6th grader.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what everybody really wants to talk about. Why is it that Beyonce is announcing her tour during tax season and the tickets are damn outrageous? That's what we want to talk about, Beyonce. Look, and people complaining about Beyonce, but yet they're still buying the tickets.
Hell, I tried to buy some tickets. I just wasn't going to get that heifer no $400 for no nosebleed seat. Out of all her albums, I think I like Cowboy Carter the most. I love that album, So I was like, okay, I'll entertain a Beyonce concert. I like Beyonce. I don't know if I'm in a beehive per se, but I like Beyonce because at the end of the day, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Beyonce. That heifer work. And you know what? This is probably why y'all. I'm probably gonna lose half of my subscribers. That's fine. I'll get them back. I'm gonna say this, and I need y'all to listen to me very carefully, okay? Because I don't want y'all to misconstrue what I'm about to say. And let me think if I even should say it. I'm gonna say it because my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. I even like Kim Kardashian, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Now I know she came to fame with the sex tape with Ray J or whatever, and her mama is one of the hardest working people on the planet. I'm gonna say that about Kris Jenner, okay?
Pimping 101, but go ahead.
Whether it's pimping or whatever the case is, listen, you out there hoeing on tape, we might as well make a bag from this. I'm not saying it's right. I wouldn't do that to my daughter, okay? I wouldn't do that to my daughter. But what I'm saying is it's wrong, but they, hustled that into multi-billion-dollar. That's not even where I was going. I like Kim Kardashian because at the end of the day, that heifer work. Now, I know a lot of people got mad. She made the statement a couple years ago. She says, and I'm paraphrasing, but women, they're lazy. Some women are lazy and they need to get off their A and work. And a lot of people got mad. Oh, you came to fame off of your sex tape and blah, blah, blah. You know how many people got a sex tape out there and working at Taco Bell? She parlayed that into something. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, I know you got a collection. Hopefully it stays under wraps forever. But, she parlayed that into something. You know what I mean? So I like her work ethics. I like that, she gonna get out there. She gonna hustle. She gonna work, and all of that. Now, all the other stuff she got going on, I don't know. And I also like this about Kim. Because Donovan and I had this conversation a long time ago about Kim Kardashian. She started to make a shift from, and she's still in the mirror a lot, I guess, but her advocacy work, right? She has used the Trump administration the last time to get a lot of Black people free. And whether y'all know it or not, she's still doing that. She's still working to get not just Black people, but she's working on getting a lot of Black people free. Now, she could be out there sex taping it up and all that other stuff, but she said, and I remember I heard her say this. She says, I know I have so much now, and I've gotten so much. She says, I cannot continue going on just being a shallow person. I now have to parlay what I'm doing into helping others. So, that's what I like about her. And the same thing about Beyonce. Beyonce gonna work your ass under the rug,
Wait. You mean to tell me $10 million for a 4-minute speech, and she didn't even give a concert? All those people that were in Houston to see Beyonce perform, and she walked off the stage with her money.
I mean, why are we mad at Beyonce? Or are we mad at Kamala? Hell, you give me $10 million to say, oh, I'm a mother. I'm not just here as a performer. Good night. I'm leaving. Oh, do y'all hear the insanity? Do you hear the? I need to wear a baseball cap more, huh? Do y'all hear the insanity? And I wear a baseball cap sometimes. I be in, actually learned that from Beyonce, believe it or not. Y'all might see somebody out here like this in public. I kid you not. And that's me. Believe it or not, I learned that from Beyonce. She said she liked to go into Target by herself like that, and nobody knows. Nevertheless, we mad at Beyonce because she got $10,000 to say 100 words.
10 million.
10 million, allegedly, whatever. To say 100 words, you mad? Wouldn't you love to be on that level? Beyonce, Donovan, the recovering Democrats, I'd like for you to show up. Just say a little something to the people. $10 million going to do it.
Well, shit, Usher did it. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Now, she wouldn't have got that if she wasn't a hustler. They wouldn't have invited Beyonce out if she wasn't on top of her game. They're like, you don't have to pay us. B says, is Walter coming on later today? I love his perspective on relationships. He's going to, I was talking to him earlier. He's going to start coming on Wednesdays. He's going to clear his schedule. Now, y'all know my brother ain't for the week. Okay? My brother's not for the week. I'm just telling y'all, he not. Okay? My brother be on some other stuff. And I know I pay for that sometimes. But my brother going to help you get to the money. He is no nonsense. He ain't that, well, let me hold you in. It's gonna be okay. He ain't on that one. He like, get your ass up.
He gives the blueprint and says, do this.
You crazy there? I'm talking about Chris Jenner running a Joe Jackson type of corporation. Man, that I'm telling you. And you know what's crazy? Kim Kardashian started working for Brandy. She was arranging her closet. Kim Kardashian was a closet, I don't know, rearranger, whatever, for the rich. That's how she ended up with her AJ. Now remember who they called the momager. The original momager was who? Who was the original momager? Y'all remember that? I'm seeing somebody put in the comment section. See if you know your trivial, your TV history or music history. Johnny said, I agree with you about Kim K. Yeah, she get a lot of hate. Some of it may be deserved, but I think she's a different human now. You know, she does a lot of good things with her money, her time, and she don't have
to. You got to when you got 4 children, you got daughters looking at you and your sons are looking at you. So I'm not saying that makes her a bad person, but I think people naturally evolve when you have children.
And not only that, and I'm not telling y'all to like her. I'm just saying, because I'm one of those people, I can not like some of the things you do, but I ain't a hater. I'm going to give you the credit for the things that you do. And Carrie says everyone should have freedom to change. People do. Like if we don't get, listen, again, I don't go to church, but I know that God says that his grace and mercy is renewed every day, right? Every day, God is giving you grace and mercy. You were a horrible person yesterday, but guess what? When you wake up, I'm going to give you grace and mercy, and hopefully you'll be a better person today. So if God will give you grace and mercy to change and evolve, why are we as humans not allowing each other to evolve and change and be better people? That's all I want to know. Camp J, you said you wouldn't have taken that 10 million. Shit.
So somebody said Chip Fields, original momager.
I could see that, but that wasn't the term she was given. This term was given to this person. I'm looking. This term momager was given to this person. FM, you said Walter the Coon. Well, I think y'all should know Walter is my brother. So I want to be very careful how we phrase my brother. Walter's very different in his thinking. As I said, he is not for the weak. He says some things, and trust me, Walter's born into the Nation of Islam too. Walter knows all the stuff I'm telling y'all. You know, sometimes he sees things. I say this about him. He has the rose-colored glasses on a lot about people that he shouldn't. I would say that. But one thing my brother will do, you can set that mofo out in the middle of the motherfucking Mojave. I said the F word, yes, I did. Mojave Desert with nothing but a shirt on his back. And that sucker gonna come out there with money. So if he could teach you that, do it matter whether he a raccoon or not? Doesn't matter. If he gonna teach you how to eat better tomorrow, today, and forever, doesn't matter. See, sometimes we gotta learn how to spit out the things that we don't like and digest the things that we do like. Now, I don't necessarily like Walter coming on here to talk about the things I talk about, because he gonna go off to the left. But I know a lot of people personally who have been better off financially because of the advice that he's giving. So if Walter coming on here ain't for you, and FM, I'm not, saying this to be mean, but maybe that show ain't gonna be for you. But there's people who ask me on a daily basis, where's Walter? Where's Walter? When is he coming back? And trust me, the advice Walter gets paid a lot of money to give that advice, and he comes on here for free. So that's all I'm gonna say. Hey, Maureen, how you doing? And we about to actually get out of here.
And I just want to add, by the way, wasn't Walter the financial advisor of a billionaire that Kim Kardashian was married to?
Kanye West. Yeah. And a lot of people, I won't name drop, but a lot of people, Fisher Rich says, not for nothing, but Kim Ray J tape was boring. He's stupid, boring as hell. Never watched it. A friend told me. Volvo, how you doing? Chip, y'all saying Chip Fields? EG, how you doing? Says, what is Walter channel, please? He don't do anything on YouTube. He needs to, though. He needs to do something on YouTube because he's got a lot of great information. It's hard to catch up with him, but when he sits down with us, that's a blessing because he's a busy dude. Spider-Man, how you doing? Since Demetra Kaye platform, this is not FBA's being traitor. It's all the turncoats, both parties of trash. You won't get any argument with me out of that. Our neighbor says, I'm a fan of most hard workers. Me too. Joey says, I'll be happy if someone gives me $100,000 for 200 words. You know what I'm saying? Walter Davis, he says, many TikTok videos at the Beyonce concert, women will be crying about their rent, not getting paid. The most intelligent, no, and it won't be me, which is why I said I'm not giving Beyonce that kind of money to sit in no nosebleeds. I don't mind sitting in a good seat. I'm going to, listen, I paid $25 to go see Journey in a couple of weeks. $25. I'm not giving Beyonce no hundreds of dollars. I might give $100, but to see.
But isn't it strange? She always announces during tax season because she knows all them chicks are going to get that money and go buy tickets to go see her perform.
I mean, listen, don't be mad at Beyonce. Beyonce a hustler. She said, I'm gonna get your money, and if y'all dumb enough to give it to her, I mean, I don't know. Beyonce ain't gonna get that kind of money from me. I do like Beyonce though. And I hate the hate that she gets. Beyonce, she goes out there, she does a shimmy, does her songs, and she go back into hiding, until it's time to get y'all money again. Yeah, but of course, Walter, a real dude, he don't bother me. Yeah, I mean, again, Walter, sometimes he maybe should bite his tongue a little, like, bite a little bit, but he don't. Somebody said Tina Douglas. Dan, you like Walter? Yeah. Well, yeah, Walter, Tracy, Walter, he's a special kind of guy. He is. I said, I got a couple people I need to put in a headlock when I see him again. Donovan is one of them. He already knows. And Walter, they're getting in a headlock for some of the things that they've done. And I told them not to do it. And they did it anyway. So they get an ass whooping when I see them.
That's right. And you guys know how I feel about masculinity. And don't pump no Kool-Aid over here.
He's still getting ass whooping.
Wait. What's love got to do with it? You guys ever watch the scene in What's Love Got to Do with It at the end where he brings the roses to Annie Mae and he shows her the gun and stuff? That's how I treat Demetra right there.
And you're going to get treated like the back of that limousine too. That's how you going to get treated. As soon as I see you, it's on sight. Yes, Doris, I love Walter. We do. And again, Walter is my biological brother. The Informant Media, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Enlightened says, yes. Ding, 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 ding. She got it right. Brandy's mom. Isn't that ironic? Brandy's mom was called the momager because they said she wasn't nice when it came to managing Brandy. And now Kim Kardashian's mom, who Kim Kardashian did work for Brandy. Yes, she did. I was accused of stealing from Brandy's credit card. The mama went all off and stuff. And I don't know if she ever paid it back. Hopefully she did. But now Kris Jenner is considered to be the momager of all time. So it's just kind of weird how things work. Hey, Sham Priest, how you doing? All right. I know we're gonna get out of here. I just probably am here all day because I don't have nothing else to do. I just done it all. I was supposed to be on vacation in California and I'm not there. I like Walter too. He's a pretty good dude. And Perry says Walter means well in his own way overall. I think that's the best comment. He does mean well. At the end of the day, Walter does love Black people, as he is very Black. He probably gonna be like, what do you mean I'm very Black? He does love Black people. He really does. And his approach is very austere sometimes. And I tell him, I said, Walter, you have to, when you deal with certain people, and he's like that with his own children. Sometimes they want to push daddy from a train too. I tell him, because my brother's he's structured in a way he wants to get to the money all day, every day, all day, every day. And I tell Walter, I say, sometimes you just got to talk to your children and say, I love you. Not that he doesn't, but how are you doing today? Everything good? It don't have to be all right. You ready to start a business? Okay, let's get ready to start a business. How much money you got in the bank? Oh, do you have it? I says, that's cool, but sometimes you gotta, hey, I'm just your dad. Let's go for ice cream. Let's go, to the park. Sometimes you gotta do that, But yeah, he does mean well. I would not lie to you all. Yeah, okay, that's what's gonna happen to you when I see you. That look is going to be, now didn't I tell you? But I tell you, that's my dad. When when he got the stuttering, no, didn't I tell you? Yes, you did, Daddy, you did. You told. you knew it was going to be old and cracking. And after that, he got the stuttering. He was going to grab, listen, I think he's 81 now, so CPS ain't going to be after him. He was either getting the fan belt, he was getting the switch, he was getting the belt, he was going to get it. My dad didn't whoop us much, but when he did, it's because he absolutely told you more times than he cared to be, he used to say, you're getting beside yourself. I don't even know what that means no more, even to this day. But when he said you're getting beside yourself, oh, you was about to get inside yourself after he whooped you. So, and I'm 53 and I still, but Donovan, you done got beside yourself. You done got beside yourself. Everyone says, y'all were talking about humility earlier. Walter is no mean. He's not. Walter is not a humble dude. I agree with you 100%. Walter is not humble. But I tell you what, Walter would give you the shirt, or he may not give you the shirt off his back. But I know that I shouldn't tell you these things, but Walter has gone and helped countless homeless people in ways that you can never imagine. You can never imagine. He's got a heart of gold, but no, he's not humble. And some people are like, no, I'm not humble. There was a conversation going on the internet. I just learned about some Anthony, he's a basketball player. What's his name? Anthony somebody. He was having a conversation with Obama. And I guess Obama told somebody else that the player, whoever his name is, oh, he's okay. And the basketball player to his face was like, man, you better recognize. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, I'm the greatest. Basically, I'm more than okay. Like, who are you talking to? And everybody got mad. Oh my God, he's talking to Obama like that. But it's like, why do we want people to be humble? He's very confident. I'm a great basketball player. What you talking about? I'm okay. I'm more than okay. That's what he said to him. And people lost their mind. How dare him talk to Obama like that? It's like, why do you want me to be humble? I don't know. I think you should be humble. But as far as having confidence about yourself, yeah. Nah, I'm very confident. You know who else is not a humble mofo when it comes to confidence? Donovan is not humble when it comes to confidence. He's not. Donovan, and I got this from him. He says, when I say something's going to happen, it's going to happen. He says, when I say it, I believe it.
What the problem is?
You can't be very, and I'm not saying humble where you like down on other people, but I'm saying about yourself. You got to, kings and gods and people, those are the ones that have that kind of confidence. Yeah, I don't know why I can't do it. If they can, Donovan is a rarity in his field. He's a pilot. He's a black pilot. He used to be in the military, Air Force. You'd be better off finding a Hope Diamond somewhere. And he's had a lot of people tell him, you'll never do it. This is not something they let black men do. And he went through a whole lot of adversity. He's like, just because you told me I ain't going to do it, watch me do it. And Donovan puts the picture up all the time. All those accolades, all on. That's just part of the stuff that Donovan has. Like I said, if you see his chest when he puts on his, he can't even put it all on.
No, it goes way up here. It's way up here. It's all the way up here.
Yeah, that's not a person that doesn't have confidence in themselves. So, sometimes we can benefit from being, I am the stuff. Yeah, I am. Hey, baby, Thunder, how you doing?
Well, what's that saying? I think the minister said it, or Malcolm said it. If you don't believe it, why would anybody else?
Yeah. I got this hat from Cotton On for like $2. Yep. Yeah, Fisher and Rick, when the lights go down. Yes. Journey. I ain't gonna sing it for you now. I'm a little laryngitis, but yeah. I will. You say, I hope you will have enjoyed Columbus. Oh, I will. In May, I will be there. Anyway, Queen of Dice said he was the best. Yeah, he said he was the best. Yeah. Right, Tracy. Obama was just a man. Michael says, how do you explain to Walter that reparations would make him 3 times richer than he is now? Walter's not against reparations. He would cash a check in a heartbeat. His Walter stance is more or less like, until we get the reparations, let's get money. That's what his thing is. Not that he's against reparations. Mike Nice, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, we about to get out of here. I've overstayed my welcome. I was just gonna come on here for just.
I don't think anybody's against reparations. All these people that talk about we ain't gonna get whatever. When the reparations does come, let me see the guys that were against reparations turn down a check when the check comes in their name.
Yep, and I'm going to close on this because I like Steve Jobs. He's gone, RIP to him. He had a bout with pancreatic cancer twice. First time he seemed to have gone to remission, and pancreatic cancer is hard to go into remission. It's most definitely, not maybe not always, but it's almost always a death sentence. So he whooped it twice. But you said Steve Jobs reportedly said it felt bad to have all this money and can't save himself. It's all about balance. Money got him the best medical treatment to keep him here. There you go. I should have read your comment here a little longer. I guess, yeah. So he did. But I'm imagining that Steve Jobs would have traded it all if it meant that he were to live. He probably would be at this point the richest man in the world. He invented Apple. You need I say less, right? With no no college education. He went to college, but didn't stay because he said his adoptive parents could not afford to keep him there. So he said he didn't want to be a burden on his parents. So he dropped out, but he had some professors who were nice enough to allow him to sit in on classes. So he never paid, but he sat in on classes. They were nice. And then he, learned what he learned, and he created, Apple. I think maybe it was something else before it was Apple, but nevertheless, at a commencement speech, he said, go to the mirror every day and ask yourself, if you knew today was your last day on earth, what would you spend it doing? And whatever you answer, go do that. Because
I'll be in the strip club, the nasty kitty.
Well, then why are you here? He's stupid. That's why you get in the headlock, okay? That's why. So, FM says, I thought Walter said he was against reparations. No, Walter's not against reparations. He's against us waiting and not doing nothing to get the money that we can get now before we get the reparations. Hey, Gary Mackey, you dog, how you doing? Alicia, what's going on with you? I saw somebody else here. So he's not against reparations. He's against us saying, I'm not going to do nothing until I get the reparations, right? We got $2 trillion. D-Hop, how you doing? Says not a damn, but I will vote for Donald Duck before Trump, Agent Orange, okay? So yeah, there's things we can do to get the money. $2 trillion in our community every year. We give 97% of that away. So yeah, we need to get to the money while we're waiting for the reparations to come. So I think that's his standpoint. But yeah, he'll be back on here. Try to have him on here when he gets. Walter's chasing money. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Sonny, how you doing? So when I do get him on here, it's a blessing. I will say that. So and FM, I know he's not always palatable, but he's giving people a lot of information they can use. What happened to B Girl? I didn't see her on here anymore. If you want, I can save that question for Walter, and I'll have him answer that for you next time he comes on here. Thunder says sup. So Terry says we're gonna get reparations. Yeah, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that the Democrats here, they're taking our talking points right now. So it's just a matter of time. And the thing is, we got to keep going. Let's say hypothetically we don't get it during our lifetime. Maybe our grandkids will get it. Our grandkids will get it. Our great grandkids. The thing is, it's a bill that is owed. It is a bill that is owed, and they are going to pay for it. I didn't see them not give the illegals coming in here cash money payments, housing, and all of that. And they didn't serve one thing into the military. They didn't fight for this country. They didn't put any skin in the game in regards to this country. So yes, we are going to get it because now they are talking, and that's their talking point. But they're still playing games with it. But the point is, let them lose a few election cycles, and you're going to see what's actually going to happen.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Donovan, thank you for coming on, because I know Thursday is not the day that we normally come on. Again, I was supposed to be in California, but Frontier, I think our days are numbered. Me and Frontier's days are numbered. Going back to Spirit. No, I'm not. But yeah, they did me dirty, but it's whatever. It's freezing cold here, by the way. In Houston, it's like in the 30s. It's gonna be that for the next couple of days. So there's a lot going on. But yeah, I'll be in California hopefully tomorrow. My good friend, I'm going to go up the mountain with her. I haven't seen her in a while, so we're going to chop it up. I miss her dearly. Most of my friends are in California. Going to hang out with my family on Saturday. Donovan, you're more than welcome to join as usual. I don't even need to give you an invite, but you know that. Sunday, I'm going to watch Savior's Day address. My father is in Chicago. As I promised a few people, I will be there next year. It just always seems like something else happens on that time, but I need to make it a point to be at Savior's Day. So that's all the plans I have. And I'll be back here on Monday. Business as usual. Anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. So in the meantime, you guys have a great. He said, "How long is the drive?" Oh no, I'm not driving to California. I did that once. I drove from California, and I there's no way I do that again. It's the worst drive ever from California to Texas. There's nothing but desert and just desert and road and dirt.
You better have cruise control.
Yeah, when I drove here, I Netflixed. I was watching Netflix and it was on my dashboard, and that's how kind of what made it the drive. Oh God, that drive is. I think it's the longest drive, isn't it, from California to Texas? It's so wide. So I'm driving. I'm leaving
California. Get across Texas to Houston. Just Texas alone is about 12 hours.
I'd never do it again. I'd rather walk across the desert with no shoes on cactuses before I do that again. It's the worst drive ever. It's like, are we there yet? So it's very boring. It's terrible. I'm not. Oh, what am I driving? I'm driving a 2013 Hyundai Sonata, paid off. 2013. Now, I've had some people say, you need a new car for what? And never even leave the driveway. You know, I had to get a brand new battery after getting a brand new battery because I didn't drive a sucker. And I was told, you got to drive it at least once a week. You got to stretch it out. So now my daughter makes me drive. You're driving, because we usually in her car. You need to drive. So I take it out. But I'm not going to get a new car until the last wheel falls off. Because I saw a video once of a car driving on 3 tires. So if I could do that still, I'm not getting a new car. But if I do get another car, I would lease one because I don't drive much. Leasing is cheaper. So, and if you're my brother, he's like, you need to come get one of my cars because he sells cars. He sells cars too. So, Tracy says, tell them to pay the new car bill. You know, have y'all seen the stickers on new cars? Why are you paying that much for a car? I know some people need one, but
wait, you guys are talking about driving. I drove the Alaska highway 3 times when I was stationed in Alaska. And let me tell you, that is no joke. You're out, there won't be traffic for 50 miles either this way or that way, and you're out in rough wilderness in Canada. And I drove it 3 times, and the road was like rocky. It was horrific, but again.
Yeah, and you know what, James? I did say if I got another truck or a car, I had a truck before Expedition, which I love, but if I got another vehicle, it will be a Jeep because these roads out here, disrespectful. I couldn't imagine driving a nice, pretty, shiny car and I hit a dip out. I think I would go to the mayor's office myself and say about these potholes. So anyway, I love and appreciate you. Go ahead.
Real quick. Michael Pan says, Demetra Donovan, and a couple other people said this in the chat too, about the African guy that is building his own car. It's a self-powered car. Have you heard about that? What is
I have. I don't know much about it, but I heard that he's doing it. So it's supposed to give, I guess, the Tesla a run for his money. Sure. If that's what you think, yeah, go ahead and get it from the black man. Because you guess what? Didn't even is it Tesla, Eli Tesla, is that his name? Didn't he have a black man working with him? They all did. So that idea, that's what Tesla's named after. Elon Musk, Tesla company is named after Tesla, who, you know, did all these inventions and stuff. But if I'm not mistaken, he had a black man working with him. So that all come from us anyway. So if a black man is making a self-driving car and you want a self-driving car, you know, Elon got enough money. Give it to the black man. I know some people gonna say he's African. Hell, you African to some degree. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that. But anyway, Perry says, I still have my 2013 Honda Insight dependable car. There you go. And Honda actually makes a good car. Well, yeah, they do. You need some maintenance on it. Donovan has a Honda that he's had since he has the original one. Y'all remember when they sold in 1986, the box one. He has the one of the
No, actually, I have a Tiburon, which is Spanish for shark. That is what the Genesis brand was made on, they went to the Genesis, right? After so many years of the Genesis, and then
Oh,
the Genesis,
I would love to have me a
and
Genesis.
the Genesis broke off to its own brand, but mine's a 2003, and I'm still driving it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that fresh air. Yeah, but that Genesis, that's a nice car right there, boy. That Genesis. I remember Hyundai when it first came out, it says a 10,000 was a 10-year warranty. And I think maybe they don't have it no more, but 10-year warranty or 10,000 or 100,000 miles. Or see, that's when I bought my car. I had that. They gave me a new engine because it was a default and a whole host of other stuff. So why would I get rid of that car? Now I need some shocks. Yeah, I do. Okay, but I don't drive it much. I'm gonna get to the shocks, but I got a new engine in that mug. So why would I trade it in? It needs a paint job. It's starting to chip. Wasn't doing it, started doing it like a month ago. I'm like, what the hell? So, but it's a car. If I really needed to go somewhere, I could rent a car or I could call Uber Black, pick me up, drop me off, come back, because I don't stay nowhere long. Anyway, I better get out of here for real if I get Nikolai Tesla. Thank you, Jesse. I knew it was some doggone body. Yeah. Anyway, I love y'all again. I'll see y'all later. Peace.